Hi guys, welcome to my video. Today we're going to be talking about my airbrush setup, so I'm going to be running through exactly what I use. Please just bear in mind that this is a brief overview. I don't go into too much detail. It's just that some people have asked to see exactly what I've been using, just for a bit of detail for when they go out and purchase their things. So the main things that you need is your airbrush, your compressor obviously, you need your cleaning pot, and obviously you need your cleaning solutions as well. Now, one thing I will say is underneath the video I will be putting all the links of where I've purchased everything, so you can click directly onto the links which will take to the websites for you to be able to purchase them if you wish to, or read further information about the products that have been shown here today. So the airbrush that I use is the Patriot 105, Badger Patriot 105, fantastic airbrush, brilliant for beginners and also the more experienced user as well. You know, when I'm actually using it, there's so many good perks about the airbrush. You know, you've got a large cup, so you're not forever putting more and more paint in. You can put a good amount of paint in at first if you're doing larger models, base coating, etc. So all in all, a fantastic airbrush. But I will be doing a separate video about more detail on the Patriot 105. You've also got your airbrush cleaning cup, so when you've used all of the paint and you've got rid of as much as you can, you then simply rest it in here and you can fire the rest of the paint and into here. So this is for sort of cleaning it if you're going to be changing paints, etc. So again, I'll pop the video on there for that one. You've got your compressor. So again, this is a fantastic compressor. There's many compressors on the market. You know, you can look online, you can read up so much information. The main reason that I went for this particular model is because it's got its separate air tank underneath. So what happens with this one is when we switch it on, it will obviously build up the pressure inside, and what happens is it stores it in this tank. When it reaches the correct when it reaches its maximum capacity, sorry, should I say, it then switches off. So then when you're using the airbrush, if it drops below that threshold of the pressure, the amount of air that should be in there, it will simply just click back on and then fill it up to the top again. I didn't want a compressor that you're sitting there and every single time you pull the trigger, every time you're spraying, you're doing your airbrushing, every single time you do that, I didn't want it to click on and off, click on and off. You know, I wanted one that filled up the once and just sort of trickle fills every time it's needed. So this was bought from Airbrush Everything. The model of this is an AS186. As I said, a brilliant compressor. It's very portable and lightweight, so if you sort of need to tuck it under your desk or wherever else, you know, very, very small and compact. It's got very low noise, it's not noisy whatsoever, to be honest. Thermal protection, overpressure protection as well, so you know, you can't have too much pressure in this tank. It's got an auto cut-off, as I said, and it's also got the pressure gauge on the compressor as well. So what you can do, if I just lay it over here, as you can see, you've got the control valves. This is to control the airflow or the pressure coming out of the into the air line into your airbrush, and this is your pressure gauge as well, so you can set it to the pressure that you want to actually be using. You've also got your moisture trap there as well, which is really important to have. So as I said, a brilliant compressor. When you finish using it for the day, all you need to do is switch it off. This little pin here will actually release the air, so it's just a case of pulling that out and then that will release the air from the compressor, as you can hear. So that's got air in because I've just been doing some airbrushing. So, but yeah, so that's basically how that works. It's got a little carry handle on the top there as well, which is quite handy. So that's the compressor. As I said, I'll pop the link below as well for you to see that. Now, one really important thing is taking care of your airbrush, making sure that you're cleaning it. Now, I use Vallejo airbrush cleaner. There's other cleaners on the market, of course, but this is the one that I always use. Brilliant product. I picked this one off of Amazon. Again, not too expensive. You've also got your cleaning brushes here. So again, this is for when you strip your airbrush down, so you can get right into the airbrush and make sure you're cleaning out, and make sure you're not going to leave any dry paint in there that causes damage to the needle of the airbrush, etc. Again, these are a couple of quid. I also use Ultrasonic cleaner. Not everyone uses them. They're not a must-have product, but they are, you know, it's so much easier. You strip the airbrush apart, pop it into the ultrasonic cleaner, and you know, it basically does its job for you. Obviously you've got to check it over, and you may need to use some of the brushes just to get rid of some of the sort of built up paint, etc. in there, because it doesn't always do it 100%, but that's going to save you so much time. You've also got your paints. So I use Citadel air paints. I've obviously popped these into drop-up bottles. Do feel free to check out another video that I've done. It'll be in my videos under this video. and I actually showed you how to transfer paints into dropper bottles. Obviously you've got Vallejo and you've got many other paint brands out there also. So this is my setup. As I said, it's a brief overview. This is exactly how it comes out of the box. So the air trap is already fitted on there. I will now show you a video and show you exactly how you fit this, because you need to fit it with a PTFE tape. Please also remember that if you're using a Patriot 105 for example, the connection here is a 1/8 connection, so you will actually need to buy an adapter which will allow the airbrush to connect onto it. So don't make the mistake that many others do. They buy the compressor, it gets delivered, they're using something like a Patriot 105, which is obviously a well-known airbrush in the airbrushing scene. They then set it all up and then they can't connect it, so then they have to wait a few days for the adapter to come. So it's a 1/8 connection directly up here, and you do need to get the reducer, sorry, should I say. So what I do now is I'm just going to zoom in and I'll show you exactly how I connected it all together and how I put the PTFE tape directly onto the fitting. Okay, so what you need to do, as you can see, so this is your 1/8 connection here, as you can see, and this is your adapter here. So this has got the 1/8 female piece, and this is the male that goes into the female section of your airbrush. So I'll show you exactly how that works. So you've got, that's the piece there, and that screws directly onto there. But I'll show you now how to use this piece here. So what we're going to be doing is you need PTFE tape. You can pick this up very cheap. It's a sort of plumber's merchant polytetrafluoride ethylene tape is actually what it stands for, but it's just a tape that plumbers use. It's for going, basically it lies in the thread there and creates a better seal. So what you need to be doing is you need to, when you're putting it on, you need to be doing it on the reverse thread, so not the way it actually turns. You need to be doing it on separately. So the easiest way is just to hold it like so, pop your tape directly onto there, and then you're going to be winding round in reverse. And again, when you are doing this, just make sure that when the tape runs round, it doesn't cover up the air, the hole there, because otherwise you're going to be stopping the air coming out. All you need to do is about sort of 7 or 8 turns roughly with that. There we go. And once you've got a good amount, this tape just tears really easily, so you can tear it right off, and that's you then done. This will simply screw onto here. Like so. So obviously you'll need a spanner onto there, just to obviously give it that final tweak. But once that's done, and then last but not least, you'll need to pop a bit of PTFE tape around there, just for that to screw directly onto. Once that's done, you're all connected to your airbrush, and you're ready to start airbrushing. So in a nutshell, what you need is you need your airbrush. This one here was actually purchased complete with the hose, so you get the hose with it as well. So you need the airbrush, and like I said, I use a Badger, well, a Patriot 105. You also need your airbrush cleaning pot as well, so that's obviously where you disperse the paints when you're finished, so that rests in there. Great little holder, but also to disperse the paints directly into the jar here. You also need your cleaning brushes. So again, I'll pick these up cheap, about a couple of quid for cleaning your airbrush out after you've used it. You've got your airbrush cleaner, which is really important and must have. You've got an ultrasonic cleaner as well there, which I use. To be honest, it's not necessary to have, but I wanted to make sure that my airbrush was clean. I didn't have no problems or no debris inside, any sort of left up paint, any dried paint, etc. So that's something that I purchased. But once again, it's not necessary to have. You can get away with not using one at all. You got your selection of paint. So I use Citadel Air. There's many others out there, brilliant brands. I mean, I've got some Vallejo paint as well, but do feel free to check out my other videos where I actually show you how to transfer Citadel paints directly into these dropper bottles, so that can also be found in my videos. You've also got the compressor. So once again, this was bought from Airbrush Everything. The guys there are a great help, so do feel free to give them a call. You know, they're very helpful if you need any help with tips. Again, all the spare parts are available for this particular model. And this is the AS186 model, so you know, brilliant little compressor. You know, just runs a lifetime. So, like I said, thanks again for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks ever so much.